joshin24's, and I'm back with some videos today. I'm going to talk about something else too on my mind. One is the Oscar controversy with Kevin Hart, and I felt like it's fair to put both baseball and the Oscar stuff in the title because it's part of the thing. Anyways, I love movies, like most people, but I don't usually watch the Oscars, and it's not necessarily like a make or break thing, you know what I mean? For me to go, oh, this movie was Oscar nominated. I mean, that helps, but doesn't make it or break it. What I do find disturbing is usually with Kevin Hart and the Oscar controversy. Like, I mean, I used to have mad respect for Kevin Hart because while I didn't always like his movies, I thought they were schlock. But it's always been like, yo, the man puts out work, and I like this comedy. Until I discovered the full extent of his comedy, where he was gay bashing and things like that. And it's just like, there's a difference with comedy. Comedy is subjective first, I think, because depending on how you tell the joke, like two different people saying the same joke will come off totally different. To different people and all that. So I'm not even saying like his whole comedic shtick is worthless. I'm saying I have a problem with one part of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's wrong for him to say that stuff like, oh, he's gonna break a dollhouse over his son's head. Like, that offended me on several levels. First off, why do you care that he plays with a dollhouse? You know what I mean? Like, second, you're breaking it over his head. That is like not funny to me. It could be you break a shoulder pad over his head. I would have the same reaction. Like, bro, it's not. I'm not saying that, again, he's not like a funny dude, but he lost respect from me with that. Like, I was talking to my cousin earlier today. It's like, comedy, well, it's a tough genre to be in, because on one hand it shouldn't be all PC. There's a limit, right? And like I said, depending on how you tell the joke, you can get away with things. I love George Carlin, man. That guy had balls saying all what he says, and I'm not going to repeat it because that's my own personal thing. But it's like, and also I don't know. I don't want to get beeped out, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like once you put a restriction on something, censorship, it becomes a slippery slope, and I'm not like going to sacrifice my principles on that. And secondly, the way the media is today, like, they'll find dirt on everybody, so, you know what I mean? It's just like, I just can't understand why it's like funny one way and not funny the other sometimes. Like, it's almost like when I told that joke, oh, my parents would break a dollhouse over my head if I did something stupid. Like, I don't even know if that would work, and that's just me spitballing with some comedy ideas here. But it's like, because I think sometimes the science of comedy can be like explained a little bit. And here's a basic rule: don't threaten children with something. Like that rubs me the wrong way. It also rubs me the wrong way that he's like stereotyping that a gay male, a gay boy would totally go all in for the dollhouse stuff. Like, shit. Like, I almost want to say to him, that's such a stereotype, man. Like, I know he doesn't care. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't care, because on one hand, this might be the persona he has to put on, you know what I mean? To, like, be in the business. And I get that. I don't care. Like, you do what you gotta do sometimes, but at the same time, it's like you didn't have to be that stereotypical about bullshit, I just hate that stupidity sometimes that people go, oh, he's a dude, I do, like, it's like one of those things where he lost a lot of respect. Do I hate him? The jury's out now, you know what I mean? That's the best way to put it. Oh my god, the computer's... Okay, my final challenge opportunity. I won the first one, dumbass. Damn, I'm in a jail. Come on, I want to skip through this. I don't want to... Yeah, safe. I don't care. Whatever. Like, this game is sometimes, like, MLB, like, it's too much like the MLB. You don't need 5 hours to tell me that guy is safe. Like, you don't need that. But at the same time, like, you challenge that because if you don't, it's like giving up. I don't even know why that was challengeable. Like, I don't know. Well, like, Kevin Smith, what's his name? Kevin Hart. I almost said Kevin Smith. I like him too, and I don't know. Kevin Smith is got his own fires, but it's also like I'm trying to be a part of the trans community. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do transitioning, but that brings me to my next point. Dave Chappelle has always been like a guy that will rip into people, but Dave Chappelle strikes me as smarter than Kevin Hart in a way. You know what I mean? Like, I think Dave Chappelle just wants people to laugh sometimes, you know, and not like in the Kevin Hart, like, I'm gonna be hyper, you know what I mean? And I gotta give Kevin Hart props because they're totally different, but, you know, I like Dave Chappelle's more laid back shit where it's like, I love the Wayne Brady sketch. I actually do like his stand-up because I've seen people break it down and it's like, wow, that guy is smart, man. I'm not saying he was dumb or I thought he was dumb, but it's like he says stuff with purpose, you know, in a laid-back way. That's kind of my style. But anyways, I just didn't like, you know, his stuff about trans people like me. It's like, you know, that's messed up. But at the same time, I don't think he takes shit seriously. Like, it almost seems like he seems very down to earth, if you know what I mean. Like, what I mean by that is, like, I could chill and maybe have a beer with the dude. I don't know if I'd bring up the trans stuff, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, I don't know, it's like, he's not going to give up on his principles, and I respect that. I don't have to like you, but I respect it. Kevin Hart, to me, comes off as the try-hard in a way, because he's like, I'll do anything for, you know, a role or whatever. And there's a price for that. I don't know. I love Chappelle. I wish he'd come back. Like, I mean, his sketches were brilliant. Like, I'm not like a scholar or anything, but man, the dude knew how to like do shit. Like, he knew how to. He followed, I think, some of the best advice I've ever heard. Is if you want to depower people that are, you know, really brutal and like, you know, stuff, you make fun of them. But you know what I mean? Like, you make fun of them. It's like Mel Brooks with the Nazis, and I'm not saying Mel Brooks is perfect or Dave Chappelle's perfect, but man, they knew how to do that shit. They were like, we see this group, we'll make fun of them, you know, it's like, you know, I like that. Also, like I said, they're not perfect, so I'm not gonna say like Blazing Saddles is like a progressive movie, but man, I always kind of think Mel Brooks and Dave Chappelle are like, without them, entertainment would be so different. Let's leave it at that. Especially Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is like, it's kind of like he kind of founded the parody movies, like with Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein, all those movies. And it's like one of my favorite movies is Airplane, right? And it's made by the Zucker brothers, who are kind of like similar, but not as intelligent. And I say that with loving respect to Airplane, but you look at their other movies, it's not the same brand of humor. Like, okay, like, you know, I mean, like, you go with Mel Brooks, you got like 4 or 5 good movies, and those are the ones I've seen, and there's probably many more. He created the producers. That's another one. That's like 5 movies, and I mean, that's great. Zucker, is it Zucker Brothers? I love them too. Like, I love Naked Gun, the first one, and obviously, you know, they kind of diluted after that a little bit more. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think one of the things when you rate directors and actors, it's kind of like, it's not just the quantity of their work, or, you know, they have a few good movies. It's like, what's their batting average? You know what I mean? Their batting average is really bad. It's like, yeah, I like them, but they're tier like 1. You know, Zucker, because they have, I like Naked Gun 2.5. I like that movie, but it's not great. I'd put them in tier 2. Like, tier 1 is like their scary movies, and it's like, those are shit. Like, I almost threw that. That's a tier 1 fastball right at the guy's head. But, you know, that was weird. Alright, good play. You know, tier 2 is like, and I'm using this in general terms. I'm not saying it's just comedies. Like, tier 2 would be like Zack Snyder as well, because, well, his recent effort's not very good. He's not a bad director, I think. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just happens to be the wrong fit for about a lot of his projects. And I'm talking DCEU and Watchmen, because it's like, with those movies, I feel he dropped the ball, but he was also not the guy I'd want directing Watchmen or DCEU movies, because he doesn't really adapt to the character. Like, and he also happened to direct Superman and shit, like, where you have to adapt a little bit. You can't just play Watchmen with Superman. No, it doesn't work. But, like, and also his comments on Batman are, like, misguided as hell. Like, he was like, well, I remember he said something about the Dark Knight, that he'd have Batman get raped in prison. It's like, that right there should have just said to the DC executives, do not hire him for Batman or Superman. Like, cause, you know, it's not like Batman, man. Secondly, like, tier 3, to go to tier 3 would be a step up from Zack Snyder, is to go get, like, get some, you know, Christopher Nolan. Like, Christopher Nolan would be tier 3. Good director, and has a really good chance to get to tier 4. I'd also put George Lucas in tier 3, because he hasn't done anything good recently. He created Star Wars, but Star Wars was like 30 years ago when he was really good at it. So tier 3. Tier 4 is Martin Scorsese, and really just the Alfred Hitchcocks and all those guys that, like, you know, that are actually good. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things where, like, tier 4 is pretty, tier 4 and above is like legendary. And I don't know. I got off track with that. But I always kind of never watched the Oscars, because I'm not gonna sit down for 2 hours to watch these people, or a night. You know what I mean? I have problems sitting down and watching things like football and baseball. So, yeah, not so much, you know. But it's also like one of those things where it's like, I'd rather watch the movies and make be my own judge, you know. I don't know. I think the Oscars is also like too hoity-toity, and it's also not a good benchmark of what a good film is sometimes. You know what I mean? How many Oscars that have been overshadowed by better films? Like, you know, particularly of, like, because they don't really count sci-fi and action movies historically, so it's like you're cutting out, like, all the movies people would want to watch in a way. You know what I mean? Like, there's, like, I'm not saying that people don't want to watch art. I'm just saying it's like you're not representing the populace. Like Star Wars, all the technical Oscars, no real good performance Oscars. Like, and that's kind of where it becomes like, what? You know, like what? Like seriously? But Not, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're a sci-fi film, you're not having a good chance historically to win Oscars in that in categories. Dark Knight should have won Best Picture, and let's face it, who knows? I forgot who even won that Oscar that year for Best Picture. It's like that Oscars was loaded and they picked the wrong one. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, going into like that's like playing an online game of like freaking hockey with the worst team imaginable, or with basketball with the worst team imaginable. That guy was out. That guy was out. I think he was out. I don't even care. I'm only 9-1, so who gives a shit? Fuck, what am I gonna do for dinner? I don't want to eat out. I can't. Cause I gotta get some shit on in the apartment. But I don't want to stay in either. Like, McDonald's is always a good option sometimes in these situations where you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat out, but I'm gonna spend the least amount of money I can. Or, you know what I mean? Fuck it. But it's also Sunday, so it's like the buses aren't running. You know, so it's like, shit, I'm stuck. But I also have ramen noodles and things. It's just like, it's more like getting, you know, in the apartment and shit. And just like, just walk it out, walk it out. Alright, so we're probably just gonna give this guy the last out. So, you know, I mean, I don't know, I'm just not having a good time. And I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'm like approaching 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna stop recording after this batter. If I can throw strikes. If I don't go down 3-0, which I already did. Fuck. Alright. I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay. 91 pitches through 7 innings is not bad. Strike this fucker out. We'll just call it a day. And we get him to line out the short or whatever. Line out the short. Okay. I gotta get up. My knees are gonna kill me, but shit. I'm getting sick, motherfuckers. Alright. See y'all later.